dependencies on things that you don't control, and it will be hard to isolate those dependencies. And here I reference back to Michael Feather's book, Working Effectively with Legacy Code, where he has 300 pages of a catalogue of approaches to try and break those dependencies. So this is one of the best things about TDD, is it forces you to think about what you want to test in isolation. And this is incidentally where David Heinemeier Hansson comes in and says, this harms my design. So, but does anyone here work in Rails? A few people. So in the Rails community, there's a huge focus on testing, but equally there's a lot of things that are incredibly difficult to isolate. So for instance, there's the active record pattern brings the database right into your business logic, which is really good for speed, but is not so useful if you want to isolate your tests from a database. I'm not going to get into an argument about whether that's a good thing or not, but it's just an observation. So by writing unit tests first and focusing on isolation, we can design for testability, and this typically gives us some way of having dependency injection or inversion of control, some way of saying from the outside what the component that I'm working with is going to be dependent on. And that then allows us to substitute test components or mock or fake components so that we can control the behavior. So this is really useful. For instance, if you want to test exception paths, if, for instance, there's a network failure, do you really want to go around fiddling with network cards and pulling out wires until you get the right failure so you can see the message? No, you want to set up an environment where you can fake that. And this is what inversion of control dependency injection will allow us to do. And you don't need to use, funky, heavyweight frameworks to do this. It's just as simple as passing something in from your test. So it's not something that requires